welcome to the Wax Discovery, where we find diamonds in the rough and nifties in the wild. We're back again for another exciting show. I'm your host, Love Handles. Here with Martin Brewer and Yana Schiffer from she's back in the metaverse, handling things in the background, and love to see you guys. Looking at the chat, I see Features Relic. I see Martin in there. Yana, what's up, Feature Relic? How you doing, man? And yeah, let's get into it. As you know, we start with some news. So let's just hop right in. We will have Santino joining us hopefully shortly. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into the first topic. So if you guys have been following the Skatecoin Twitter and the Chair Twitter, you'll know that we are launching Skate Week. Big collab with Chair. It's a great idea. Reached out to us. Yeah,
That's
super
right.
stoked on his art. Yeah, we love Chair, one of our favorite collections. And so yeah, Skate Week, guys. This is one of his drops. This one was yesterday, 2100 ETC. Features some skateboarding art. I believe it's his first canvas. They're dropping another canvas, which is really exciting. It's let's see if I can find it over here on Nifty Blocks.
Looks dope, man. Looks dope. Easy, bro. Easy.
Yeah, it's a chair. A chair on a skateboard. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, whatever, bro. I'm a chair.
Yeah, this is the second one. Super dope.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out, Chair.
I'm new to these canvases. I know the unique ones. I'm digging the unique ones a lot. Like these canvases. I wasn't aware. Did she always brand these as canvases? It's pretty cool.
I'm not sure. This is one of the first ones, I've seen with them. So, nice. I'm excited to see what they're going to be. Chair basically has a drop all this week. So, stay tuned for this one. 2 hours, 56 minutes. Get your wax ready. Only 15 wax. And
I love the perspective on this one, on the green one. Like, I was like, is it a rail? No, damn, it's a pool. It's a pool. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, so excited about that. Also, we have.
So, what about this collab? What's about the collab? I heard there's a collab with Skate. Is it just Chair Skate Week, or is it Skatecoin Skate Chairs Week?
It's Skatecoin times Chair. Yeah, it's everything you love about Chair and everything you love about Skatecoin wrapped up in one collab. We'll get into that shortly. We're gonna have a little
can't wait
on it. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And pressed into 1 week.
So then we have Funko dropping their Halloween stuff. We just want to let people know. Shout out to Funko, holding it down in the corporate world, and super stoked to see this Halloween stuff.
The drop started like 4 minutes ago, right?
Oh shit!
Yeah, it dropped the same time as our show. So you guys
have a look if it's
they're
sold
super
out.
early. They're super early on the Hollywood front, it seems, right? On a Halloween, I mean. Frightmare on Fun Street.
Hop in and see if we can take a look at the drop.
There's so much Funko.
So much Funko stuff.
Let's see. I'm not sure if the collection is out yet. It's
We'll let you guys do your.
Let's see.
Diligence. All right, so Funko. They really don't need too much introduction from us. Everybody knows about Funko. Huge, big, one of the biggest collections, wax, and one of the only corporate entities to stick around, right? So shout out, guys. This was one of the news articles that I saw. There wasn't much in the news this week, but it was kind of interesting that we've been, in the NFT space for a long time. POAPs, nothing new to us, right? Proof of participation, basically. POP tokens for short. No secret to us, but it's funny that this, this journalist that's writing this article is kind of just now discovering what these are. And so that kind of gives us a little bit of an indicator of where the general public, right, where the mass adoption is at this point. They're still kind of not really getting it, right? They're just now understanding the power of the NFTs. So this article just kind of goes on and explains what is POAP, giving Vitalik the credit for inventing them, I guess, but soulbound tokens. And it just kind of explains, that POAPs are a really strong tool to where you can kind of like get proof of participating, and then you can get those badges and check out each other, check other's wallets and say, oh yeah, you were at this certain concert, or you were at this certain AMA, and and you have this Pope, and then you can trade your Popes and cash in your Popes and all the different things you can do with your POAPs. So yeah, it's just interesting to me, just kind of see where we're at. We're not quite there, right? There's still kind of a lot for the general public to learn about NFTs.
True. Like what I like about the POAPs, these POAPs, the original POAPs that are on Ethereum, they immediately launched almost with their own application, right? So the whole application displays your POAPs, and then basically in your account you can only see the POAPs. So it's filtered by where you have been and what you have done. And I think 2 or 3 years ago there was a DEF CON event where nobody could grab the tickets, but those that were at the earlier DEF CONs and could prove it with the POAP, they got like first grabs, first digs on getting like a DEF CON ticket. So that's, I see, like it's a major use case. If you have an event, or if you have something where people all want to get into, you can sort them by like their history or their loyalty, by what kind of badges or what kind of POAPs they owned and where they've been. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is great. Future Relic, they got some My Little Ponies Funkos for his daughter, and yeah, man, Funko's dope. Those were dope, the My Little Pony drops. It's really good to see Funko bringing in all these big brands. Yeah, it's really great.
And hey, Rohan.
Yeah, so back to the POAPs.
You was a special guest last week.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, Rohan. Dude, how you doing, bro? Yeah, back to the POAPs. Like Martin said, it's a huge, use case. It's great for like airdrops. It's proof that you were there. So big shout out on that. And yeah, guys. So let's move on.
Yeah, who's gonna do the first POAP?
Reminds me. Maybe we're going to be having POAPs soon for the Wax Discovery. So maybe a little bit of alpha there. Might not be later. Maybe next year. But that's something we're also looking into. So
make some noise in the chat if you want POAPs for the Wax Discovery.
No, let us know if you think that's a good idea. Actually, for some tokens, for some airdrops, and all that fun stuff. And also let us know if you have POAPs of your own, and we can check that out in your use case. All right, so Lisa Chandler's tweeting out Alien Worlds is doing big things. They got dropping their planets, and they're gonna have a DAO. So they're launching their DAO this week. There is an Eden meeting, right? And the open call is starting Wednesday, 1300 UTC. There's a link here. It's not. Guys.
So the story here is not they're just going to launch a DAO. They're launching 6 planets, and each planet will have their own DAO. And these DAOs are these planets are basically kind of up for grabs. You can run as a candidate and get elected. But what I like about, if you don't know Alien Worlds yet, it's like a pretty huge game. It started more or less about mining, but the whole team has a background in the building DAOs actually, and they use some of the their old software in order to launch these planets. And it's pretty interesting that they're gonna the game itself. The TLM token is already cross-chain. You can have it on a Binance chain and on Ethereum. They have these bridges already going. Well, we can look at the volume right here, just alone on Wax. Even though it's a bear market, they still have quite significant volume here with 20,000 in 24 hours. However, since the token is already cross-chain, I think with these DAOs, they're going even more cross-chain when it comes to communities, because they're reaching out to a couple of communities at the moment if they're interested in running one of these DAOs there. And basically, these planets, there will be 6 communities building a larger community in Alien Worlds. And I think it's an interesting use case to implement DAOs and governance systems and community like that into a game, which is, we'll see what comes from that. But shout out to Alien Worlds. They've been very early on Wax and made it out in the big world. I think they're ranked pretty high in the overall gaming stats of blockchain gaming.
Oh yeah, they're one of the tops for sure. Shout out Alien Worlds. They did a lot for the community. One of the big reasons, in my opinion, why even we got listed on Binance, right? They had their hand in there talking to Binance with their cross token and stuff. So really great stuff from Alien Worlds. It's like you said, Martin, it's going to be really interesting to see how these different communities react in the world, right? Is there going to be peace? Is there going to be war? What's going to happen, right? Is we going to for each other's planets, like our planet? So yeah, it's going to be really fun to see kind of where this evolves. Really cool.
So if you guys want to learn more about this, a good chance to listen in and hear about this will be the Eden Fractal meeting tomorrow at 1300 UTC. And you can RSVP to this event on edenfractal.com.
Yeah, big
and
stuff.
If you don't know Eden or Fractally, then that's kind of an innovative DAO tool, like decentralized communities governance tool that's being piloted on the EOS blockchain. But other Antelope chains have access to the same tools basically, and the Alien Worlds community already has their own fractal basically, and that's how this collaboration came about in the last 2-3 months. It's going to be exciting. I love to meet like more people from other Antelope chains or potential other blockchains in general in the metaverse and build DAOs with them together. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting actually. Like pretty soon when we say EOS or when you say Wax or when you say another, blockchain in the community, it's really not going to be them. It's basically everyone's just going to be saying Antelope, right? Because we're all tied together, especially with these bridges and these cross, poly tokens. So that's really exciting.
So the Eden Fractal works like as a amplifier for the EOS candidate for the planet. So if I understand it correct, the Eden Fractal will kind of build the council of the Wax planet later, right? So who gets elected in the Fractal will be the one representing EOS on the planet, right, Marty? Or what?
I have no idea.
Okay, yeah, but normally as the thing is with Eden or with Fractally, we have kind of a playoff. We have like 20 people, and everyone has like an idea of how to get the best results for the group, and those people get elected round by round until like. The amount of people 4 or 1 are elected in the end, and it feels for me like a fractal can lead to the governance of this planet then. But let's see. Let's see tomorrow.
Yep, really cool. Looking at the chat, NFT React, hashtag Skate Week. Yeah, man, we're gonna get into that. I'm really stoked on it. The Lost Mask, what's up?
Yeah, Lost Mask.
Welcome to the show. Good to see you in the chat. And a little bit more news before we start getting into the collabs and the drops. No secret, right? Atomic Hub, November 2nd. They're gonna be in London and get a chance to meet all your favorite stars in Wax and your, all the contributors. Maybe get a chance to say what you need to say up on stage and meet people. Really great to see.
Yeah, man.
We won't be
London Crypto Week. That's gonna be huge, man. London Crypto Week. Like I hear from so many people, they're gonna be there. It's gonna be great, and I love to see like Atomic Hub representing the Wax community there. They already have like a bunch of speakers announced. I'm following them on LinkedIn already. There's like they do like kind of like a lot of like professional marketing there for their appearance there. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, and
I hope we hear something from them.
Yeah, the presenter and panelists here are even kind of outside like perspectives. I think Martina, I can't read on my screen here, but she's game designer. And hearing like the perspective of a game designer is interesting. So I love it.
Yeah, very awesome. All these different people, up on stage, passing their knowledge down. This is how it all happens, guys. Chair, what's up? See you in the chat. What's up, Rob?
Woohoo! Chair.
Yeah, another $5 Brazilian real from the Chair universe. Thank you so much.
We'll definitely put that to good use and flow it back.
Our tip jar is filling up. I saw it already. Collecting and stacking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Speaking of the community, the king, right? Lupe, Senor Lupe, dropping his Chummies Friends series. Those are coming very soon. Is that in a couple hours, Martin?
Yeah, that's in 1 hour and 45 minutes. So right about when you're done with the show, yeah. When we're done with the show, we'll all be like blending as some chubby friends.
Yeah, guys. Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get these with wax. You're going to actually have to use the Friends NFT tokens. So that's pretty cool the way that's set up. So get those ready if you don't have your Friends tokens. All right, shout out Senor Lupe. Also, guys, we saw a tweet from one of our favorite collections, Stokey. Looks like he's dropping on #1, so that's kind of a giveaway here. So go and check out Stokey Studio on Twitter for a chance to win this baby. Put in your wax address. I see Martin's in there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stokey's kind of famous for these bubble lines, bubble art, and I collected like an Easter egg really early, and it was like egg shaped, but you can see like in these bubbled brain-like shapes. Different forms, like people or loving people who are hugging. Amazing. And Stokey Studio is dropping Stokey feed.
Very nice. Yeah, get in there before it's too late. All right. Getting into the collab
time.
Yeah. All right. So not too many this week, but as we mentioned, we got a collab with
one
Chair.
Is very important collab. Very week of collabs.
We got Taco collabing with some kind of NFT insider drop, so that's going to be exciting. And we got a crypto swaps drop, and let's with the collab, and let's check them out. Let's get into them. All right, first up, Taco. No real introduction needed for these guys. We've looked over their stuff a few times. So we'll kind of, spare you guys the theatrics. But if you don't know, Taco is huge. They got their own universe, tons of different hot sauce collabs. They have their own tokens, Taco and Shill and Xing. Excuse me, guys. Taco and Xing. You guys can use those to get their drops. But they're collabing, it looks like, with none other than NFT Insider. Shout out NFT Insider. Thank you, Hydro and the team, for all that you do, bringing us these calendars. It's really helpful, a way to get the word out and everything. So it's going to be exciting to see what that drop is going to be doing. And let's see, when is that anyway? Check my list. Looks like Taco and NFT Insider. Ooh, Wednesday. So tomorrow, guys, you have time. Wednesday, 1600 UTC. Taco and NFT Insider will collaborate, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see what they're going to bring us. All right.
See our guest joining. Hey, Santino.
Chair, what's up?
Oh, hey.
Santino, how you doing, bro?
Good.
Welcome. Yeah, we see you. We don't see your screen is black with your name, but that's cool as long as we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
How you doing?
Get this started. Good. Hanging in there.
Yeah, you told
hey, man.
Having some connection problems, so you're coming live and direct from the car, huh?
Yeah, I have to, because
all good.
Yeah, it's just crazy, and there's outages, and you just got to deal with whatever. I don't know. I'll put it this way. You just got to have to make it happen. And
making it happen for sure.
Yeah, I can't not make this happen. I gotta promote this this Nefty auction, because I was actually in the Twitter space on Nefty blocks yesterday, and I'm like, you guys gotta check out EOS Nation, and you gotta see there with Love Handle, and you gotta tune in and all of that. And then I wake up this morning and the internet's out, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
It's always like that. Always like that, man. When you need it the most, right? We've all been there.
Put that NFT auction out there. They're trying to hold me down.
Nice. So, no way, man. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get the word out. So great to have you on, everybody. Welcome, Santino. All right. So Crypto Swatch collabing with the Art of Troy. So this is I've seen him around. I don't know if we've covered it too much. He's a big cat lover, an artist, a dreamer, a proud cat dad, and a creator of cat NFTs. So Crypto Swatch obviously doesn't really need too much of an introduction. Everyone hopefully has heard of them by now if you follow the Wax community. Really big supporters of the community. They do tons of collabs with everybody. Shout out Crypto Swatch, man. I love what you do. And but let's get into the collab with Art of Troy. Let's see if we can get any information on that collab yet. It's usually every Thursday, guys. So definitely have a couple days before this baby drops. Just check out some artwork from Troy here. Nifty blocks.
You love cats.
Yep.
Cats.
Can't go wrong with cats. Can't go wrong with the cat art.
No.
Oh, there we go. We got the black cat. Yeah, pretty relevant for the month that we're in. And they got the cat butts. Interesting.
The cat butts remind me of the duck butts. Do you guys still remember the duck butts?
No.
Duck butts were also like a collection on wax, but I haven't seen new drops by the duck butts yet. So I think the cat butts are next.
Okay, we'll have to check those ones out. Collect all 9 of your animated, collect all 9 for an animated blend. So that's interesting. We'll look in the blends in a minute, but these are some pretty cool art pieces. Looks like hand drawn to me. I always love to see that. Can never go wrong with hand-drawn art, right? Coming straight out of the artist's emotions. So pretty cool. Look like a pride butterfly. Got some rainbow cats. Yep. This looks pretty cool. A cat bun, birthday cake,
nice, go.
Cat on it. Yeah. So yeah,
go
if you
Troy.
guys love cats, go Troy. If you guys love cats, this is definitely a collection for you. Go ahead and check him out. Go over to his Twitter. Troy's artwork, right? And give him a follow and support your local wax. All right, let's check the blends out before we go. Oh yeah, here's
that's the animated one.
Cat Butts blend.
Cat Butts blend. That's a cute one.
Oh, look at that baby, rainbow cat. Yeah, super soap. Looking great. Shout out. All right.
Okay.
Moving on to the big collab of the week, right? Chair bringing us Skate Week. Chair, you're awesome, bro. Thank you. You gotta go
extra language.
Much deserved. Yeah, Chair. He loves chairs. We love skateboards, and together we're bringing you Skate Week. Great idea by Chair. These are some of the art canvases that he's dropping.
Love it.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I really like it. Looks like it's obviously it's a chair, right? The chair skaters, right? We've got the one skater here. They're all chairs and they're gathering around the pool. And we got this one ripping with the nose. Looks like a nose slide, and that's really cool. I really enjoy this. It's super sick to see. Thank you for supporting, skateboarding. And here's the other canvas that was dropped yesterday. If you guys are into the skateboarding and you're in a chair, you definitely want to pick these up. Not financial advice or anything like that, but there's probably going to be some, some prizes and some definitely rewards for holding some of these things, especially the wheels. We're doing a nice juicy wheel with Chair, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But let's look at some of the other stuff from Chair. As you know, Chair is really big, right, in the chair universe. Any chair you can possibly think of, right, is out, or it'll be coming out at some point, right? The imagination.
It always surprises me. It always surprises me how many more chairs are possible. Like the imagination of chairs is just like so awesome. Just making like a chair skate in a bowl is awesome. Like I can't wait till we have a chairverse where we can walk around and be surprised by all the kind of weird stuff that's going on in the chairverse. But yeah, awesome stuff. Can't wait to skate in the chairverse.
Sure. Yeah, we love these things, man. We've been covering Chair a lot, and definitely check out some of our past shows for kind of a more in-depth look at some of these chairs. But can't go wrong with these things, especially the unique ones, man. Totally awesome. Chair is an anonymous artist who has been compulsively creating his own chair universe for many years. The collectible items proposal is to take the art and rarity of this universe, and to those who appreciate and perhaps collect the pieces of this immense puzzle with a never
Skate Week
concept. The goal is to impact and as well as captivate the collectors. He's just starting out, but there will be many more chairs to come. So shout out Chairman. We'll get into the stuff a little bit later. Collabing with none other than us, right? Skatecoin, Sadat Gem's project. As you know, Love Handles pretty much came up with the idea with the co-founder Yana and Martin, and we just really have a passion for skateboarding, and it looks like somebody won the Santino wheel.
And chairs.
This is our wheel we did with none other than Santino. Super stoked on this baby. This is the uncommon, and there's also a common one. So definitely you're going to want to collect these because there will be rare skateboards at some point coming soon, sooner than you guys might think. And it's pretty cool. And this is our chair wheel. This is the common version. We also have a rare signature coming that we're going to keep secret for now. But and a big surprise coming. If you can manage to collect both wheels, the common and the uncommon, chair is going to have a special airdrop that you guys will get. So we're not going to show that yet. It'll be kind of a surprise for you guys. And that's going to be
get those cool. Chair wheels.
Yeah.
When is the drop? Tell me when the drop is.
The drop's Friday. The drop is Friday, 1500 UTC. Yeah, it's also on the calendar. Yep, shout out in NFT Insider.
Nice.
And so that pretty much does it for the collabs. You guys, here is actually some of the wheels that we've done. We've got the chair wheel, we've done Order Works.
Only 40 of these skate wheels.
Yeah, these are actually special requests from Chair. He wanted to keep these, so these are actually limited edition wheels. Not much, and there's actually only 20 of the uncommon. So the supply.
Oh my God!
These ones are definitely going to be one of the more rare skateboards. And
you need 4.
Yeah, you will need all 4 to blend, but you will only need one of each wheel to get the special airdrop. So make sure you guys get both wheels, and Chair will drop you something special from Yana, actually, who was the artist of this baby. So we're going to leave it at that. Skatecoin, we don't need to go into it very much. It's all about skateboarding, for the love of skateboarding, supporting different skateboarders from around the world. We've got skaters in Los Angeles, China, Europe, basically every region around the globe that we support. Any skater is welcome to join, the clan, basically. And there'll actually be a pretty big announcement next week. We're planning on having Mike D coming on the show, so we'll see if that happens. It's most likely, but there'll be a really, really big announcement next week, and we'll let you guys. We'll leave it at that, and we'll keep you informed on Twitter. So I thought we'd get into the drops.
Shout out Mike D. Shout out Mike D.
Yeah, shout out Mike D.
Can't wait for next week.
Since Santino is kind of in his car, I thought we'd maybe skip ahead to his stuff and let him talk about his Halloween drop, if that's okay. And
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So Santino, what's up, man? It's good to see you.
Good, yeah. It's good to see you guys. The link is actually, I think you could. I don't know if they show it in auctions on the Nefty Block page, but if you go to my Twitter, it should be the most recent thing on my Twitter. Let's see. Or underneath the drop schedule. There.
Right here. Is this the link here? Nefty Blocks? Or no? Probably not.
So, oh wow, it's gotten another bid. So it's nice. doing very nice.
Oh yeah, nice, looking good. Yeah, that baby's sweet. Is this hand drawn? Let us know what's up with this baby.
So this is hand drawn. It started out as a sketch that I did when a while ago when I was trying to get down like cross hatching, because if you look really closely, you can't see it, but if you blow it up, kind of you can see that there's on the sketch itself there's cross hatching, and it's it's basically a hand done physical IRL piece of art that has been digitally scanned in, and then I colored it in digitally. And then, as you can see, there's animated effects. There's the color bleeding on to the sketch, and then it burns off. And so the inspiration for this was, we've had a lot of conversations on Wax about bringing higher level art, bringing rarer, scarcer art to the blockchain, and trying to compete. A lot of people want to compete with Ethereum. They compare us with Ethereum all the time. And, one of the things is, Juan from Nefty Blocks, and I believe Morbs had made a good point about artists. They put so much work into their art, but they give it away practically on the Wax blockchain when you have people who do very, if you look at some of the art on Ethereum, some of these PFPs, they're not super impressive, but they're going for a lot more. And I think people need to properly value their art. If you spend a lot of time with it, really price it at its value. Like I said, this is a hand done sketch that took me hours to do, and then I scanned it in, and that took me a while to color, and then it took me a long time to animate and add the blood or the color of the bleeding on, and then the fire. But what inspired me to put the fire on there and have it burn, and because in blockchain, burning is the symbol of like destroying or getting rid of. And so the thing is, I was thinking about the biggest artists in real life, not on a blockchain, and go, how can we make the art like these big artists? And you look at someone like Banksy. He's been selling his art for a lot, and he actually didn't like that the greed was taking over the art and people were just buying it for the flipping. So what he did is he created a piece of art that would self-destruct at the end of the auction. So everybody watched this art shred itself. So it came to life, it was moving, it was shredding itself, and then it died in front of everybody. So then it was a living art that lived its whole life cycle in front of an audience, and then this was the corpse left over of the art. So now the art is actually worth more because it had a whole life cycle. And so that was kind of what I'm going for with this is, it starts out as a sketch. The Halloween theme is that it's bleeding like blood onto the sketch, and then it burns, like kind of like that Banksy piece of art. But also the burning in what we do in blockchain symbolizes, the eliminating or destruction of something. So it's like a whole life cycle. It starts, it's born, it lives, it dies, and then it starts all over. So I put a lot of thought into this. I put the artwork, as you can tell, like, with the graphics and everything, I put a lot into this to make it, something really dope. And I really feel like this is the best piece of art that I probably minted on the blockchain yet. And so I really went all out with it. And hopefully, someone sees the effort. And this was another kind of point that I was making to some of the people in Nifty Blocks and the other Twitter spaces was that, there's proof of work and there's proof of stake. But when it comes to being an artist, there's a different kind of proof of work. And the proof of work in the art. Like you can tell, like this is not something I just slapped together in 15 minutes. This is something that took a while, and you can see it. There's proof of the work in the art. The art is the proof of work. And I believe making NFTs that have a high proof of work and that value and that art sense is really important. And, I'm thinking for the long run. I'm thinking of people, towards, years down the road when they're looking at this and go, these were some of the first NFTs, or this was this person who was very influential and these were his original NFTs. So I'm trying to create that value and build that kind of legacy on the blockchain. Hopefully I can stay on Wax, but I've also, I've dabbled in Ethereum and Proton and some of the other EOS blockchains, just to kind of like spread things out. So it's not everything on one blockchain, but, I'd like to really, make some real waves on the Wax blockchain. And I feel like this is a great start.
Yeah, it looks like a really great start. And as you're saying, there's nothing wrong with diversity. Sooner or later, they're all going to be connected in my view. So, full circle, this thing might end up, who knows where to end up, right? This could be on Ethereum someday. It could be over on Binance, right? Wherever the collector bridges it over. And I think it's super dope, especially when, these platforms get more advanced and they start putting different formats on their profile pictures and stuff. This is going to make a super sick profile picture, right? At some point when you're able to put like videos and stuff as your profile picture and GIFs and everything. This is really cool. Yeah. Is this original one of one?
Yeah, it's original one of one. So there'll only ever be one that will ever exist. And
right.
So if you own this, you own the only one. You have the only one in your possession.
And how are the rights? Are the rights also transferred over to the user? If he buys this and decides he wants to make a shirt or he wants to sell reprints, how does that work?
I haven't actually thought that through, because typically what I I haven't thought about that yet. I'd have to probably talk to the collector, just because, I'm cool with someone using this for the art, like using this for a shirt or for a pro or whatever they want to use it. But I'm also hesitant about setting a precedent, because I'm okay with this and I can grant someone the commercial rights, but like I also don't want to set a precedent that everything, if you just buy something, that you own it. Because like I'm cool with that, but there's certain pieces of art that I've done, like my Tupac oil painting. I've done some watercolor stuff. I've done like a lot of stuff that like I don't know if I'd be willing to share in the conceptualization of that. But for this, I would be okay with it. But I also want people to know that it's not it's an NFT, basis. I'm not gonna just say everything, if you buy it, you own it. Because then there's also things that, I have some stickers NFTs that there's like 100 or 200. It's like, obviously you can't own that if you own one, because everybody else owns it as well. And so I usually I'll make multiple of something like that, just so that people won't confuse it. But yeah, typically I just stick that for the PFPs. But if someone wants to use this for commercial purposes, that's totally cool. But it doesn't go across all the boards with everything that I do, because and then there comes into play, like for instance, for my oil painting of Tupac, it's like I painted that and that's my original artwork, but I'm also painting someone else's image. So it's like, how could you really own the rights to that? Because that's somebody else's. Even if you do original art of somebody else, it's still that other person, so totally. Like, so that kind of stuff, because a lot of my fine art is like drawings or paintings of Pac or people that are famous or important to me. So yeah, that's a different thing. But yeah, for this, you have to actually go to OpenSea to see the Tupac painting. If you look up Santino Ramos art on OpenSea, there's just that one NFT up there, because I kind of just did it to create the smart contract. Like I wanted the land grab for my art collection, but it's very, very, as you know, it has been very expensive to create art collections on OpenSea. It's been, now it's a good time if you're an artist and you're looking to, mint your art on Ethereum. Now's probably the best time for that. But like, say when I put this collection together, I must have spent like, I don't know, at least $100. And I thought I was getting a steal, because earlier it was like $1,000, like a month before. And, so and it was like $500 months later. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is too much. I can't do it. And then I just got lucky. And I felt I got lucky, because I'm like, oh, it's $100. That's not that much for an artist, his own place and blockchain. But then I realized, I should have just been doing it I should have just went straight to wax, because I lost a lot of money, on fees, on minting stuff. I minted that NFT that you just saw of Tupac like a couple times, because the first time I did it, I didn't realize you have to create your own collection. Otherwise it just says created by OX5032. I had no idea. No one told me. There was no days. You just had to figure it out. And figuring it out on Ethereum is super duper expensive. So that's why I'm always telling people, I'm not trying to be a waximalist. I'm not trying to be like, hey, do my, go on my chain because that's where all my bags are. It's like, I literally feel that I'm helping out artists when I tell them about wax. That's why I take the time to talk to musicians, especially because they get screwed over all the time with royalties. This is a way where royalties are guaranteed to you on the wax blockchain. We can't always say that for Ethereum because they're going through their thing right now. But as far as wax goes, you want to get all the money that's owed to you. You want it all to be transparent, open ledger. That's unheard of for musicians. Everything's secret. It's behind the curtains, and everything is, they get screwed over. So it's a great platform and blockchain for artists, not just musicians, but visual artists like myself, because I can create something and create value. This is coming at a great time for me, because like I have the time to do it because I work multiple jobs. I lost one of them recently when I was sick, and I came back and they just kind of canned me, found somebody else while I was sick. And yeah, I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, oh, well, I can create NFTs. You know, I'm an artist and I can create value, and I don't have to, you know, sign up for, you know, to apply for a job and then submit your resume and then have a Zoom call and then meet them and then fill out a W-2 and then wait for the pay period every 2 weeks. By that time, you know, it's almost a month before you receive any money, or 2 months. And, you know, right. What's great about this is I can pour my heart and soul into a piece of art and create value with that and pass that on to somebody else for other value that I can exchange for fiat. And then I can get gas, I can get food, I can, you know, that's what I try to tell these artists. I said, you know, you're waiting on these record labels, just, you know, turn on the microphone, spit some of that fire in there and create your own value, because that's essentially what NFTs are, is the artist to monetize their value, to crystallize it. And oh, and by the way, there's a certificate of authenticity that comes with all my artwork. So once if the winning bidder gets the artwork, they get a certificate by me that says, you know, what the name of it is, what the blockchain, and the day I minted it. And the day I minted this one was the 13th of October, which I think is significant. Nice. You know, October, spooky, you know, 13 and that whole, you know, I can't remember, unlike Friday the 13th and all of that stuff. So I really try to put a lot into here. But what I was going back to my point was trying to tell this musician was like, imagine if, you know, instead of going to work and having to get that job at McDonald's, you can just, you know, do your art and create that piece of music, and then, you know, pay the person downstairs at the bodega like, hey man, can I trade you this NFT for, you know, a cup of noodles or something like that, which is like, you know, I'm not trying to like be subversive or saying like artists printing their own money, but it's like to be able to we're not interested in printing our own money, but to crystallize the value that we can create into an asset and to pass that on is a great idea. You know, I'm really inspired, and I've mentioned this before about Picasso, how he used to go out to restaurants and, you know, order it up with his friends, and they'd rack up this huge bill, and at the end of the night, he'd take a napkin and he'd squiggle on it, make a little doodle, and then sign it and then give it to the owner and say, I think this will cover it. And it did, because even then when he was alive, you know, his things are going $500,000, so that more than covers a night out. So that idea always stuck with me, is what if an artist could literally, you know, create art and feed themselves with art? That's not something that we think about, because the idea of an artist is the starving artist. You have to starve for your art and live like a pauper and live in poverty until your end days, and your grandchildren will probably be, you know, wealthy and successful. It's a really rough thing to ask of somebody, to just live their life like that and not have any kind of, you know, reciprocity for the things that they've done, for the value they've created. It's really important that, you know, we take care of those people in our society, our artists, you know, the creativity and the creative people. That's what makes a nation and a country and a world great. If you have none of that, you know, you've taken all of that away, then it's like, you know, that's your society, your world is so empty. You know, it's the art, it's the entertainment, it's the music, it's the movies, it's the all these things that bring joy to people's world, that if we didn't have it, it's like we'd just be robots working, you know?
Yeah. Some people say art is the backbone of society, you know, with that
it's culture. It's culture, you know. Our history is is documented by culture. It's done by people that write books, that do paintings, and, you know, there wouldn't be history, there wouldn't be documentation about anything that mankind has done or what happened anyway in history. But what you're speaking about, Santino, is so super valuable. It's direct access to the market, right? When NFTs just came out, there was a lot of discussions about gatekeepers, and they used, like in the music business, in the art world, that they're galleries, museums. These are the gatekeepers, and with NFTs, like artists or any creative basically has direct access to the market, right? And this is what's happening, and you're making great use of this new opportunity, man. I want to congratulate you. Also, like with the deep thoughts that you're putting into this, like I like the cross-reference to proof of work, and I would like tell you that's not just proof of work. You're not just reproducing the same thing all over again and calling this work. You're really like, this is proof of evolution, right? With every work that you're doing, you try to reintroduce yourself and bring it to the next level. So I see that in this work, and also like this is what I like is that's a seamless loop, right? It's looping forever, but it's also like the circle of life in a way, right? So there's so much into it. It's pretty cool. Well done. Congratulations, man. I hope you're doing well.
Really dope. This is what it's all about, guys, right? The whole decentralized dream for artists, you know, to where they take control of their own future. And man, I'd definitely trade some cup of noodles for this baby, right? I'd trade a whole pallet full of cup of noodles. So that dream is not, you know, it might not be too far off where you can actually, you know, trade an NFT for real value in the world. I mean, it's happening all the time, right? And, you know, people trading US dollars and Bitcoins and everything. So yeah, shout out. You're definitely an early adopter. You will go down in history, my man, right? Someone's definitely going to appreciate this baby. And yeah, super stoked on it.
Guys, I heard somewhere in all that the word culture, and I was like, oh, there was a question in the chat about the hip hop culture background. Maybe Santino, are you a graffiti artist? I think this question comes up by looking at your wheel.
Yeah, I used to dabble when I was a lot younger, because when I was a teenager, I really wanted to be a rapper really bad. Like I used to write. I got books, like literally notebooks filled with rhymes. I was all about it, and it inspired me because, you know, hip hop, it's not so much, you know, now, but in the era I came up with, it was the music of the people to express, you know, revolt, or to express their dissatisfaction with the current status quo, and how people, you know, in America, especially at that time, and it's still today, the inequality that there is. And it was the voice of the people, and I really like that, and I wanted to be a champion of the people. And I still believe that, even though maybe it won't be through hip hop, I still believe I can be a champion of the people, but through the blockchain and through, you know, helping people. Because besides blockchain and all of that, you know, I teach martial arts, and I do that not just because it's fun and I like it, but also to empower others. Because when I see people who, you know, need confidence or self-esteem, and they don't have it when they walk in through the dojo doors, and then after, you know, training with me for a few weeks and stuff, or a month or so, and then it's like, hey, I can see a different personality. Their chest is, you know, their shoulders are out and their head is held up high, and they feel good. That's a good feeling. Or like when I work with kids with special needs, and they're scared and they don't want to get on the mat, but then, you know, eventually I get them where they're on the mat, they don't need me, they're doing it on their own, and that's a big win. So like, I still want to be that person for people, but through my art, but it's just going to be a different art. It's going to be through blockchain art and NFTs instead of hip hop. And I still might actually, you know, I'm not completely done with that. I feel like, you know, that's a childhood dream that I would love to realize. And, you know, I'd love to collab with some of the people, some of the musicians, some of the people who are into hip hop and want to produce, you know, hip hop beats and music. I'd love to collab with them and do some music as well. The really on the blockchain, the possibilities are endless. You know, there's so much going on. I mean, you got people like Go Apparel that they're, you know, collabing with people and releasing t-shirts, and IRL, they're doing the whole eBay, you know, NFT thing. I think that's great. Then you got people who are, you know, doing, you know, games like yourself, and in apps like yourself, and with Skatecoin and Taco and Doge Fellas. You know, there's so many people, there's so much creativity. You know, we could all just make stuff together, because you literally got almost like one of everybody on the blockchain. You got visual artists, you got music artists, you have developers, you have everything. And I think if we all band together, we could make something really great.
Hip hop culture is something we talked a lot about in NFTs, because it's like a similar background, like the hip hop creators back in 80s, 90s, or 70s even, started doing something completely new, completely from scratch. The bus just being like super excited, digging the stuff, DJs digging crates, digging samples, and everyone just wanted like to get better on this. And a similar culture I felt really, or I feel really here in the NFT space. So yeah, we had. I know absolutely about the excitement and what you're talking about. That it was like the kind of the language with a sender and receiver. We've been talking back in the 90s. I learned a lot from for example, German hip hop, like a lot been like similar to KS1 teachers. Interesting, yeah. Love doing more hip hop and see more hip hop and yeah, all the different hip hop activities like breakdancing on Ethereum. There's a dance NFT crew, super cool. We've seen breakdance in VR, we have seen graffiti in VR. So going from traditional physically into digitally or digital realms, it's super interesting because like you all know, like painting on paper, painting digital, there is kind of not an evolution, it's a different thing, but if you do it, like there needs to be a playground or marketplace or a showroom possibility, and yeah, it's super exciting.
There needs to be a cipher. There needs to be a cipher, right?
Yes.
In the internet, the marketplaces are our cipher. We show our art, we show our craft, we show our evolution, and share the progress that we're making. You know, everybody can only be oneself's best version of oneself. That's the kind of competition with yourself. It's not the competition with everybody else, and that's what hip hop and street culture kind of taught me. You need to be real. As long as you're real, it's all good, man. You're gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean for what we do, that's definitely the thing, because there's like a parallel universe for most people who are creative. It's like, you know, there's the world where that's true, where being real is like that's what's gonna get you to where you want to be. But then you also have to, like, when you work for somebody else, you work for somebody else's business, like you can only be so real, like without losing your job. Because I've been very real. I'm a very real person, sometimes to a fault. Sometimes I'm so real, it can in a corporate friendly, you know, situation. And, you know, I totally get that. But like, yeah, man, it's a catch-22, because you definitely want to be real, but sometimes, you know, like Dave Chappelle has a skit called "When Keeping It Real Goes Horribly Wrong," and I feel like I'm one of those guys who does that. So I gotta be careful, keep it a little real. And as people like, hey man, you gotta tone it down with that realness because you're a little too real, you know. And that's why I like blockchain, is because, you know, people can be transparent and people can be open, and like for the most part, people are open to me being super open, because sometimes in IRL or in a real professional IRL situation, I'm so, you know, I'm just so much to deal with, or so my personality is just so, it's a lot. And you know, it's even in the blockchain, when Twitter space, there are people like, oh man, this guy again, because I'm like, I gotta tell it like it is, and I gotta keep it real. And it's like, if you can't keep it real on the blockchain, where else are you gonna do it? I mean, that's the whole theme to me. That's a whole philosophy of what the blockchain is: the honesty, the transparency, I should say, because that's the word we use here in the blockchain. Yeah. The most transparency, which it's like it has its own meaning to the blockchain, and that's really important. I feel like we kind of have to fight for that transparency, because, you know, even though this is a blockchain, or we're on the blockchains, they can get very centralized, and before you get this, that person can, you know what I mean? And we don't want that. We want freedom of speech. And that's why, speaking of, going back to what Yana was saying about graffiti, on my Nefty Blocks profile.
Oops. Oh no.
Looks like we want to drop Santino. I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, it's really great to see his art. Santino's a great dude. You can catch him on Twitter Spaces. You know, he's no newcomer to the space.
It's awesome to have him on the show, man. Super deep. Love it.
Meet the artist here from Santino. You can read all about him. It's really great to kind of get to know the artist, right? When you're buying one of their pieces, and it's like having a piece of that artist in your life. And yeah, shout out Santino. If you don't make it back, bro, no worries. I think you pretty much said what you needed to say. But yeah, we'll be here if you rejoin.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
Thanks, Santino. Awesome to have you.
In case you guys
Anytime.
don't know, Santino was having internet troubles over there in California, so he drove down to the nearest hotspot, connected with his phone. He was in his car, obviously, and that's the dedication. That's the dedication of Wax artists and just true artists, real artists in general. So yep, shout out Santino, everybody. If you like what you see, go over and give them a bid. And yeah, support your local wax artists, guys. That's what it's all about. All right. Thank you, Santino. All right.
Yeah,
moving on.
Future's Relic in the chat mentioning, I do live shows every day. We get tons of Zoom interviews. They crash and lag all the time. So it's not only Santino that's crashing and lagging.
For real. We've all been there, especially with the internet. Yeah.
But Futures, come on the show. If you experience with live TV shows, come on the show, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Futures, for sure. We were talking about you offline a little bit. Part of the Skatecoin collection, we're actually going to be doing one of the first skateboard videos, right? It's going to be, you'll be able to get them in packs. It'll be all the clips of the different skaters, and we're going to combine them, and be one of the first NFT skateboard videos. So we'd love to do some stuff with you. But yeah, speaking of Futures Relic, what do you say we hop in and check that out, Martin? And didn't mean to cut you off.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so Futures Relic, it's all about filmmaking experience, blend to mint, gamified NFTs, and let's go ahead and check out the website. Let me.
I'm super interested in like how the film industry is gonna take over NFTs, right? Because owning these kind of things and kind of like chopping movies into little segments, scenes. There's plenty of stuff that people can do. So
yeah, we
definitely I
have
want to hear more about
like dropping the movie posters after release. Was interesting, and it wasn't it Robert Bone who asked like, hey, I've done TV stuff, shows, etc. How can I move this into Web3?
Yes.
So same topic. We should have a discussion, a Twitter space, or a special show for movie, film, and shows.
Definitely.
TV.
Yeah. So speaking of like movie, film, NFTs, and this is what this collection is all about. I was going through it briefly, and already I'm kind of getting the FOMO. Pretty dope stuff here. We got the Sonio preview. I like this old Sonio TV. Pretty cool. Definitely dope. And yeah, we would really definitely love to have you on the show and really talk about this collection more in depth. But let's go over and see some of the stuff.
I just sent him a link on Telegram. So Zoom, when you're hearing this.
So yeah, creating a filmmaking experience through NFTs, get into the role play, gather corresponding pieces, and get ready to assemble them. Really cool. Yeah, it's long overdue to have this type of collection. I know you've been building for a while. I've kind of seen you in the background, and I've been keeping my eye on you, especially because there's a small element of this in the Skatecoin collection to where the skaters can kind of do this type of thing with their clips, right, and sell their videos. And it's really cool. So he's got like his Help Wanted series here. A Help Wanted pack is the best way to begin. You get one precision intern package and one studio instrument. You can follow all the links here to open your packs. You select your tasks. Looks like there's some blending involved. And yeah, I can't wait to kind of go over this offline and stuff. Really cool.
Oh, we got sure Future's gonna reach us. Hey, Future, that was quick.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, good timing, man. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about your collection and what we're all experiencing here.
Mic check.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
There it is.
There you go.
What is up? That is the first time we've had someone come in directly from the chat. This is really cool. This is cool.
Wow,
Yeah,
all
man.
right. Another first one.
Yeah. Alex, how you doing, man?
I'm
Love
doing great,
Handles,
man.
Yep, aka Jason. We got Yana and Martin. Santino's back. So yeah, looks like we got a full house. We're stoked.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Santino, you are out now.
100%.
Future only has 15 minutes. So we need to hear everything about NFTs in the film industry and what you can make with it.
All right. Well, what I did is I took a short film that I did and I cut it into many pieces. But, it wasn't a time when Garbage Pail Kids was very popular. So I tried to use the same type of rarities and stuff. And I made all of them as a function, sort of. So as a common, you would get like slides, picture slides. And as uncommon, you get these Sonyo's preview monitors. And, rare, you get some film negatives. And then you get, in Epic, you get the actual film strip. And then you can get some scrolls in Legendary. And then you can get a Mutascope as a Mythic. And that's just within the collection itself. Then it became a whole game around just the film, because I had the film all cut up into all these functions and different parts. But then I needed a backstory. So that's where Futures Relics comes in. So the RPG story goes that we were recommended as a film office for someone who was traveling in the desert, and he found an old abandoned film set. And that's where we get all the pieces coming from. So you see the canisters. The canisters were coming through crates, and two of the shipping crates, or two of the locations where they found the old film set, were delivered, and one of them still remains at Customs Border Agency, so it's stuck there. And that's the end of the story, where we need to complete the Wellkeeper film. So that's kind of in a nutshell what it is. And then it became sort of the internship, where you get a bunch of papers and stuff, and then you do office stuff, and you become an editor, and then you can buy some editor cards, you can get some credits, you can get some wax seals, you try to get some packs, and then you start blending stuff, and you try to bring it to as the final cut. So you go from the Wellkeeper with like 64 pieces for the film strip, and you'll blend it into like 26 pieces in the final cut. It becomes pretty insane. It's very in-depth, and so I made it super. And I'll just pause for there, and I can go further with whatever question you ask me from there.
Yeah, man. Yana just mentioned it. You definitely need to talk. If you haven't seen it, like, you need to talk to Robert Bornhardt. I'm not sure if you know him. Like, he did the Boneheads collections, and he just asked on Twitter, like, this week, is there anybody doing like NFTs? Is there anybody in the wax community who can do films? Because he has like a background being an animator for Adult Swim and cool stuff like this. And like, he had this major, awesome opening sequence for his last Boneheads release, and it was super awesome. But I wanted to have the movie as an NFT. It just was a pack opening sequence. So chopping this movie up and like working with you together would be an awesome collab. So yeah. Definitely, the link to Bona is in the chat right now, in the Zoom chat. Would be great to see you guys in the next show, like doing some weird ass collab.
Oh man, yeah, no, for sure. I'm always open for collabs, and especially if it aligns with my current ideas. I'm very open. There's so much elements that we can play with. So I'm really open for that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll be keeping in touch with you on that one. Yeah, this is super cool. Obviously skateboarding and go together. Yeah, go ahead, Martin.
True, skate videos. Yeah, man. Sorry, like we're going off on a tangent, but like talking about another platform, not on Wax, so forgive me, is that works with films and music videos and longer content, is glass.xyz. And what they're doing is like everybody can watch like, let's say the 10-15 seconds of a video, but if you want to watch the whole video, you need to own the NFT. And once you saw the NFT, you can then resell it again. That's another interesting way to approach like longer content. It's not built on Wax yet, but I mean, Glass XYZ is not out for so long, but that's another approach. I think there are plenty of ways to play with movies and NFTs. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yep. Same with music, Sublime Sounds, another kind of music videos
yeah.
and stuff like that. You know, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're dropping their packs, so that's how.
Let's get to the program.
Sounds. Yeah, it's really cool. Santino, you're back. You're muted. Not sure if you have anything to add, but feel free to hop in anytime.
Yeah. I was
it's
just
really cool
because I was actually outside because the phone got heated. It got overheated and it just cut me off the call, and it said over temperature. You have to let your iPhone cool down before you use it. And I'm like, come on.
This can only happen on our show, that your phone gets overheated.
That's Murphy's Law, man.
Yeah. Well, I exactly attribute it to this. I think Love Handles tweeted the interview too early, and then that gave the crypto Illuminati enough time to sabotage my area, and then I don't have it. Let's know that we're all plotting. We're like, oh, he's trying to auction that NFT. Let's put a stop to that. No internet.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. That's funny. Yeah, it happens. I've had that message before. You know, especially in California. It's super hot out there.
But sorry for the joke. But you countered with Karate Kick, I guess. Right? So that's why it's working again.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, really cool to see all these collections, especially having you guys on the show to talk about your stuff. Anything more to add to your to the film experience?
It's a very vast collection, but let me just describe really quickly what I did lately in the past, maybe 2 months ago. What I did is a payroll system. So you have the hired card right there. There's 2 ways of getting that hired card, which will enable you to become an editor on payroll with an ID card. So you can either bribe the HR department for 66 wax, or you can do the blend, which kind of shows that you've gone through the steps of learning as an intern how to become an editor. So if you complete the blend, then you're able to get the hired card. Now, once you use the hired card, you get an ID card. And once you get the ID card, then you're able to get a schedule pack. So this will give you a weekly schedule, either 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, depending. And then you can get a time card. And then you get a pencil and an hourglass, and you have to get a day every day. And you have to clock in your day using the, and you do all that with your time card, which matches your schedule. And once you've completed your time card to match your schedule, then you're able to have it signed. And then you're able to redeem that for some wax seals and some credits. And you can do that every week. And every week it gives you, let's say for wax seals, which you get like 24 to get a pack or 18 to get another type of pack. Well, you get like 21 every week for about a third of the price that you would normally if you're doing this payroll process. And as you're doing the payroll process, you're able to find a training day. And when you get a training day, then you're able to train as a jerry rigger for doing jerry rigging. And in doing that, you're able to build some time clocks, which you're able to use instead of a pencil and an hourglass. And you're able to create also mechanical pencils. And you become like the only person able to do that. And currently, I think we only have like 7 people who are able to jerry rig. And they are the only ones who are able to create the time clocks and the mechanical pencils right there. So that became very in high demand just to find a single training day. Man, this was the most complicated set of blends that I ever made. I wanted to do it in like 1 week. It took me an extra month and a half. Do you see all the time cards right there? The time clocks, I mean, like they degrade. As you use them, you have a certain percentage of chance to degrade, and it can get broken. And the more you wait, the more you have to spend to repair it. But I did it, man. I did the first payroll on NFT.
Yeah, these are super dope. I love
super
the way
dope.
Mechanically
nice renders.
Wow, loving it. Here's the time sheet. Right, you got to get them all.
I want to see them. I want to see them in high res. Can you make them high, like the hourglasses? These renders look pretty cool. Nice.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, and they degrade. Like, you know, this one is in very good condition, then it gets a little beat up, then a little bit more used, and then look, there's one overheating. So that one
this
is
one's definitely
overheating.
like Santino's iPhone.
And then the one that's broken there, but it's still working. Look at that, it's still working.
Going.
So that's the last one before it actually gets broken, though.
Yeah, to be honest, I'd probably, like, if I had these in real life, I'd want this one. This one's fucking bad.
So no one actually got that one yet, because you have to have your time clock breaking all the way down to there, and the more you wait, the more you have chances of it breaking. So you know, it's well made. It's really well made. It's a lot of freaking work, and people that are using it, every day they're using it, so it's burning the correct time clock, and it's giving them a new one of the same. But that's how the nature of the blends actually work. There's no way around it for me, because I'm just using Nifty Block as my platform. I'm not doing any development or anything like that. That's really
cool. Yeah, it kind of goes into what Santino was saying, where you put your passion and everything into this art. It's really
what
good.
I like to, you know, the thought I kind of have, you know how Pixar uses a technology and they make a film out of it, right? So that's, I'm not saying I'm Pixar, but I like to take like one of the functions that Nifty Blocks is offering and like trying to push it to a limit, you know? So like in doing all of this, I'm using proof of ownership for blends, for drops. I'm doing like, you know, it's a lot of logic gates to try to make this happen. And there's a lot of layers, and you can't go like, okay, use this and this and this and just do that. If you want multiple results, you have to do all the freaking results manually, like a fractal. So it becomes very, yeah, you have to give up sleeping for a bit.
Yeah, for sure. We've all
crazy, man.
It's really good stuff.
Blocks allows creators to do things that we wouldn't be able to do unless we were developers. I know a little bit, but I couldn't do the blends. I couldn't do all the things that I do. And I think, yeah, shout out to Nifty Blocks for empowering us.
100%. They enable all creators, right?
I definitely second that one. Yeah, Nifty Blocks enabled me to kind of keep a lot of my promises that I made on the white paper, and you know.
Oh, yeah, that would be a horrible rug.
All right, man. Pretty cool. Yeah, so there's not too many more to go over. So another drop we were having looks like Animal World guys. They're dropping their stuff. Be sure to check that one out. You can visit there at animalworld.io. Dropping their what are they dropping here? Let's see. Man, I got
the bakery is almost here.
Yeah, if you don't know about
20 wax for a quantity of 300. That's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Well, it depends on the utility, right? But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. You guys definitely know about Animal World. They've been there for a while. You can check out their website, how to play the game, plant trees, harvest fresh produce, make delicious recipes, complete daily market ordering, and earn rewards. And yeah, they've been around for a while. Also, I think there was one more we wanted to look over. This one, guys, is kind of like we're not too sure on it, right? We wanted to look and kind of say, okay, these are the kind of collections on wax that you know, we don't just cover anything. We want to kind of give the community an opportunity to do their own stuff as well. So don't just go out and buy stuff just because we say it's cool. And this is kind of a collection that we just wanted to highlight. It's new, right? And we're just kind of show you how to do your own research on things. So this is a new collection for me, at least. Heroes of Arcan, and you go and you check out their website, and everything. It looks great, right? The art's great, and but then you look a little closer, and you just kind of see, okay, the Wisers, the Conquerors. Conquerors is misspelled, which is, I don't know if that's intentionally. I'm not nitpicking or anything, but good or bad, right? You have to always do your own diligence to kind of check these out. And it looks like a really great collection, and I hope it does well, right? But always do your own diligence is kind of the point. We're not trying to knock the collection or anything like that, right? I know it kind of might sound a little negative, but just little things you want to look at, like the team, right? They have a link here, right? So that's good. You can go and check out the developers. And so in this case, this guy, Samuel Town, you can, you know, look into his background. There's a lot of collections on Wax that don't do that, right? They don't put their profile in there. It's just kind of a blank slate. You have to kind of guess, are these people real? Do they exist? So in this case, right, they're doing it right. They got the link to the copywriter, but some of these don't have links, right? These are cool. You know, links to their teams here. And it's just like little things like this. So yeah, we didn't mean to kind of like pick on this collection or anything, but I thought it was kind of good to show you where, you know, the good and the bad on different things, right? So even Skatecoin, you go to skatecoin.com and you can kind of look, oh, you know, where's Love Handles? I don't have my profile set yet. So a lot of this stuff is still kind of being built. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you guys how to sort of do your own research, right? So you go to their Twitter, right? Well, 39K followers, you know, and this is kind of what collectors look for as well, right? They go and then this is not that great of a sign, right? It's like 40,000 followers, you got one comment. So it's like a balance, right? You just kind of have to be a little vigilant on the things you do. And the show got a little mixed up, so this is kind of not the vibe that we were trying to set when we represent this, right? It was kind of more like the good and the bads. So they're doing a lot of things right. But yeah, and then if you look at the sales, right, there hasn't been any sales yet, but then there's stuff on the market. And it's just kind of the point being is just to do your own research. Don't just take anyone's word for, you know, a certain project. Don't just ape into certain projects because you never know what is behind it, right? And especially with Wax, it's kind of got this kind of semi bad, you know, rap of having like some rug pulling collections. So definitely always do your own research, read the white papers, and all that.
Rug pulls are everywhere. I think rug pulls are not specific to Wax. When it comes to some of these games, we experience games with NFTs massively adopting Wax because it's free. You know, you can actually expand and mint large quantities and spin up a game. So that's what was why Wax had a lot of adoptions by game developers. And sure, there are people seeing how much money is going and how much volume is pumped by these games, even when there's not right away a product. And sure, you have then also people trying, hey, I can do the same thing. I'm just going to do something similar. And then you got a rug, you know. But rugs we have on PFPs, on Ethereum, we have them on other projects as well. What Jason is just trying to do is like, you know, it needs to make sense. If you're looking into a project, you know, and it has like a massive amount of Twitter follower, but not enough like likes and retweets, that's weird, right? Or if they're not doing any kind of recognition, or if you reach out to in the community, reach out to them and nobody's answering. So there are plenty of red flags, but in the end, it needs to make sense. Overall, the impression
we've heard like in the last 4 or 5 years, or even on the traditional markets, any kinds of rug pull. So if you don't know, if you think you know all of them, someone will create a new one. It's like many. I told one guy, like, we are like tourists in a space and we don't know, like, that's why someone is rug pulling. We're risky sometimes. That's why we want maybe even to invest into something we think not sure about that, but in the end you really need to do your research and think of and look at things which make sense or not. Do you see a community? Do you see active developers? Do you see as Martin said, like likes based on the follower? Is there an engagement and all that stuff? And what was that?
Somebody's getting a phone call.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go into some of the good things about the collection. The website was very well made. They actually had a drop set to go at what was it? Castle Supply. I know they have a drop coming up, right? Is yesterday, 1900 UTC. So they hit us with their tool packs. And I wanted to go to the market and kind of check some of them out. And as you can see, There's some here for $49, and then there's one for $6.41. And I don't know. We just kind of made a promise to the community that we were going to be extra diligent on some of these drops. And sorry, Heroes of Arcane. I guess you're the same one. But if you put yourself up on the calendar, we just made a promise.
Come up on the show. Come on the show.
Yeah, come on the show and
to us.
But yeah, some of the good things right of the collection. The art is really cool. It looks like a promising game, and I really hope you guys do well. Sorry to use you guys as the example of what we're trying to say. We're definitely not saying you guys are not.
Interesting. I've seen like in a lot of games like wood as an asset, wood as a resource. We know them from all the strategy games, like from back in the days until today, but never seen like a wood marketing pack. Super interesting. Let's see what's in a wood marketing pack.
Yeah,
hey guys, I'll need to hop on. We're testing something, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, great to have you, Alex. Awesome, man. All right, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yep.
Shout out.
Have a great day, bro. I'll have to have you back soon.
I will. Anytime.
Cool. Yeah, so Santino, you've been in a lot of the Twitter spaces, so you kind of know what I'm saying. It's not like we're picking on any one collection or anything. It's just there's been so much talk about how wax is the rug pull chain and everything. It's like we're really not, right? It's just people don't do their own research, and then they get stuck buying something that they don't, they didn't realize what they're getting into, and then they get mad and they kind of blame the collection or they blame someone else, and it's like, bro, it's all on you, It's all on you guys.
And the thing is, there's a difference between, someone who's like a legitimate rug pull, because I've actually bought into stuff and then realized, oh, this is an original artwork and it's fake and it's like forged stuff. And like that's happened to me before. But at the same time, then, that's a rug pull. But then at the same time, you have people who are like, they're artists, they're developers or whatever. They tried their best and it just wasn't profitable. Didn't make dollars and cents, and they had to go back and get a regular job or do whatever they were doing, and it just didn't work out. That's one thing. But then when you have people like, and I'm not going to name any names, but I'm sure we can figure out who I'm talking to. Recently, there was a guy who made a lot of money on wax. He's one of the biggest artists on wax. Supposedly even made $1 million on wax, and then he just bolted and took off and disappeared. And now the developer holds his keys to his collection, and he hasn't decided whether he's going to disperse that amongst the people who got rug pulled. But that's an issue, and like you said, it's something we did talk about in the Twitter spaces. But I think that's the beauty of it, is we actually talk about these things in the Twitter spaces as a community. We discuss these things and kind of go, okay, well, what's your experience? Here's my experience. What does everybody else have to weigh in on this? Rather than it's just like it's one person trying to start a mob mentality or a basically go on a metaverse version of a Yelp review. That's different. We're actually talking about this, sorting it out. And I really feel that that person that I'm referring to, it's overheating again. I got to get outside. That person I'm referring to is part of the old regime. There's a lot of old people, a lot of old heads on wax that have just been there and they've rode off the fact that they're first. There's a lot of YouTubers you see that are old that were first, and they rode that wave all the way up, but they're resting on their laurels and not realizing, hey, you got to do something in present time. You can't just sit back and be the guy who's like, yeah, I was this guy, not that guy, and I was first before anybody. So what? You don't do anything anymore. You don't mint NFTs anymore. You're not in the community anymore. And then you think you're just going to come back and be like, hey, everybody, let's play to earn game together. It doesn't work that way, man. We're smarter than that, and we know what's up, and we know who's who and who's not. That's the beauty of Twitter Spaces and Digicon and Metaverse, is because who's there? We see who's there, and we see who's not. If you're not in the cipher, then it's like, I don't really know you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what it is on wax, because we're community based. If you're there, you're showing up to the Twitter Spaces. You're like, you guys are actually putting out regular weekly content, which, by the way, shout out to you guys, because that's what we need. We need a platform. We need a podcast that is like what you know, and I don't want to use him as an example, but he's a big guy. Everyone knows him, Bit Boy. He has his regular daily show. He has his weekly shows. If we could get that going for Wax, where we've got all these people tuning in because this is the spot, because you guys are generating the content. Artists like myself are creating the NFTs. Developers are creating things. If we can get that going, then, you know, we're going to be just like Ethereum, not just like them, but we're going to have that momentum. And I feel it starts from these podcasts, you know, just having people like myself, having developers, and you guys representing EOS technology, you know, just kind of putting it out there, because it gives a space for someone like me or like, you know, other artists to come on to the podcast, but also same thing with the Twitter spaces. That's how we know who's who and who's not, because we can interact with each other. Hopefully we'll be able to integrate Twitter space into in-app verse, like Digicon, like be able to have a Twitter space. It's just like Digicon. Instead of a flat icon and my voice, you get, you know, an avatar, and I can walk around and move around and we can talk to each other. You know, it's really about community. And I think regardless of what people have to say about the blockchain, what makes Wax so strong, and I've said it before and I'll always say it again, our greatest strength on Wax is the community. The community is the blockchain.
Yeah, totally.
Well said.
Great way. Yeah, that's a great way to end the show. And yeah, guys, just the whole point is to kind of just do your own diligence. Don't ape into stuff, you know, just because you see it on a podcast. And the community's watching, right? Let's say you do a rug pull. It's like you're not only hurting, you know, your collectors, you're hurting the whole chain. You're hurting art in general, right? You're hurting NFTs. So kind of think about that, right? I know that's probably not going to stop these different people that do these things, but yeah, it's time for Wax to shake that reputation and move on to the future. And it's really
the new and untouchable Wax.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the buzz. So everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you, Santino, for coming on. Thank you, Futures Relic, for sharing your stuff. We went a little long this time, but yeah.
Thanks for everybody in the chat.
Totally. Shout out Bonar. You got to come on the show too at some point. And yeah, you know, Heroes of Arcan, wish you the best. Definitely invited to come on the show. Keep building, and we're gonna have to see how it goes. But yeah, we're sorry we didn't get to cover your drop. We didn't see it up here. We didn't see any packs. So whatever happened there, hey,
give us a shout out. Give us a shout out.
Everybody knows how it is to develop and, you know, to be behind stuff. So boom. Shout out to everybody, Heroes of Arcan, and everyone else that we've covered. And let's see what the future brings, Wax. It's been a great show. Thank you, Santino. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Yana. And we'll see you next week. Oh, and thank you, Chair. Thank you for Skate Week. Yeah, man.
Chair actually said she might come on the show sometime.
Yeah, we definitely need that one going. All right. All right, guys. See you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.